Are you dealing with a narcissist in a divorce situation and you're wondering how can you avoid mistakes in the courtroom? Maybe the system feels totally rigged against you. Maybe you feel like your lawyer has victimized you again. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the 7 mistakes to avoid in the divorce courtroom, especially if you are dealing with a narcissist. Hey there, welcome to my channel. If you haven't subscribed, I invite you to do so now because every day I release brand new content and I want to make sure that I'm bringing you the best content that I can. Here is the thing, when you're dealing with a narcissist in a divorce situation, they don't play by the same rules. And the other thing is that the judicial system is not designed to help you especially when you're dealing with a narcissist. It's designed really just to apply the law and move on. But what narcissists do is they look for these loopholes, they look for these ways to rig the system, and then people end up being all caught up in their crazy vortex. And so what I want you to do is I want you to really take notes here, watch till the end, and make sure that you don't make these mistakes. I have been researching this for 25 years. I really started researching narcissism so that I could beat opponents in the courtroom as a trial lawyer. And I want you to benefit from the knowledge that I've gained after all of these years. So divorce is already emotionally charged. I always say that the biggest paradox about divorce is that you're going through the worst, most horrible time in your life. And during this time, you have to make the most critical decisions of your life about your money and your business and your family and all of the things that mean the most to you, because these decisions that you make will actually affect the rest of your life. And it's stressful to go to court. By the way, it's stressful for anybody. It's stressful to go to court. It's stressful to go through a divorce. But when you add the mix in there of a narcissist, every move feels like the wrong one, because dealing with a narcissist in a divorce is like getting arrested. Everything you do or say is going to be used against you, and they provoke you and provoke you and provoke you to react, and then they use your reaction against you. So you don't need a law degree to hold your own in the courtroom. You actually need to lead the situation so that your lawyer has the right tools, has the right information, and the right ammunition to fight back. Remember, the lawyer only knows the law. They don't know your life. And so you have to be the one to fill them in on your story. And you want to use your lawyer as a tool, not a savior. I'm going to get more into that here in a moment. But the first thing I want you to say is don't take their bait, because the narcissist's entire strategy can be summed up in one word, and that word is chaos. And everything they do is about drama, trauma, and chaos. And keeping you in chaos is how they maintain a sense of control. And what's crazy is that they will sabotage themselves in order to continue this loop of chaos. It doesn't make sense because they don't think from a rational place in their brain. They're not thinking from the prefrontal cortex. They're thinking from the emotional center of the brain, which is the limbic part of the brain. And so they're not thinking rationally. And that's why when you try to overlay rational, it doesn't make any sense. So the first thing you want to do is don't take the bait, because your reaction plays right into their hands. Remind yourself, this is not personal. This is tactical. This is what they do to try to trigger you. So the next thing is don't ever JADE. Don't engage in what I call JADE. Never justify, argue, defend, or explain. The moment you find yourself in that web of trying to justify, argue, defend, or explain, it backfires, because now you're on the defensive and you're chasing, and you're never going to catch. You need to be the one who is on the offensive, who's calm, who is strategic, thinking from a place of strategy and tactics, so that they're not weaponizing you and basically pulling you along like with a ring in your nose. So the next thing I want you to do, and the next mistake that I want you to be aware of, is thinking that the court is going to see through the narcissist. I always would say that the clients would just say, I just want to get in front of the judge because then the judge is going to see it and the heavens are going to open up and everybody's going to go, oh my God, how have you been living like this? And the narcissist should be banished to hell forever. It doesn't work that way. It's a super painful truth to understand, but narcissists appear very polished and put together and charming in court. And then it ends up feeling like they're getting away with their lies because the judge is believing their lies. So the most important thing for you is to show up powerfully with real leverage that the judge can't ignore. Don't focus on what the narcissist is doing. You focus on your case. The next thing is showing up unprepared, either emotionally or tactically. That's a huge mistake that I see people making. Having the right documentation, putting it into patterns, graphs, heat maps, taking it all and having the law applied to it, have facts ready for each and every one of the statutory elements, and then make sure that you stay calm emotionally. If you feel all of the feelings, grief, rage, resentment, anger, disbelief, sadness, all of those things, it's fine, but there's no room for that in the courtroom. All right. So in the courtroom, you want to have practiced, understand exactly what you're going to be saying, and be ready. Practice like you would for a performance. Look at yourself in the mirror. Make sure that your facial expressions aren't coming across as angry or pointing fingers. You just want to stick to the facts. Well, here is the facts. And then mistake number 5 is arguing with opposing counsel or arguing with your ex, because then again, you look like you're the emotional one, right? So, and if you want to prepare yourself properly for negotiating with a narcissist, get my free Crush My Negotiation Prep playbook, and you can get that at winmynegotiation.com. It's a 15-page free playbook, and I highly recommend that you grab that. So don't argue, don't get sarcastic, don't roll your eyes, don't even breathe like that, nothing. Think of the judge as sort of like a referee who's watching and taking it all in, and they're looking to see who's going to be the more mature one, who's going to be the one that they can believe more. So, and if you need more support, join my free private Facebook group, Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. And if you're so ready to win, I want you to put win in the comments right now. So mistake number 6 is not using documentation to your advantage. Narcissists lie. It's their strategy. They rely on your lack of proof and your ability to manipulate the narrative, but nothing shuts down a narcissist faster than cold, hard documentation put into patterns. Your pain becomes your proof. Their lies, their behavior becomes your gift. So when they do things that annoy the crap out of you, I want you to say thank you for the gift, and I want you to start documenting that. All right. If they say they've never withheld visitation, well, you can certainly show all of the messages where they refused to drop off or refused your pickup. No emotion, just facts. This is one of the most powerful ways that you can expose the gap between what the narcissist is saying and how they're behaving. And then mistake number 7 is relying on the wrong attorney. Don't be married to a bad mistake twice. If an attorney doesn't have your back, they're not supporting you, they're not listening to you, you have a hard time getting in touch with them, they don't seem like they're believing you, they seem like they're working more for the other side. All of those things can work against you. So if you want to have, the right representation, make sure that you have vetted this attorney properly, that you understand how you're going to communicate with each other. You ask them questions like, how are you going to support me? Are you going to believe me? Are we going to be able to work together? I'm going to be providing you my documentation. This will keep you 2 steps ahead of that narcissist because you've got powerful courtroom strategies that you're employing. So use your facts to turn your pain into your proof. As much as you might wish for the court to rely on fairness or that they're going to see through it all, it's not going to happen that way. So in high conflict cases, especially with a narcissistic soon-to-be ex or ex, the courtroom becomes their playground unless you show up with leverage, calmness, and control. So your job is to reveal that truth, but do it in a strategic way. So this means no emotional outbursts, no over-explaining, no assumptions. You just are the one who shows up calm, clear, cool, collected, confident. You've got everything ready to go. So when you avoid these common mistakes, you take back your power, and especially the power they hoped to keep stripped away from you. If you've ever built anything from scratch, whether it's a business, a brand, or a podcast, you know there's nothing small about it. The decisions, the hustle, the grind, the pressure, it's so all-consuming. And that's why I was so grateful to find Shopify when I set up my own store, shop.rebeccazung.com. Shopify powers millions of businesses worldwide and handles 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from giants like Mattel and Gymshark to brands just starting out. It simplifies everything: inventory, payments, analytics, marketing, all in one place, and their built-in tools make it so easy to run email and social campaigns that keep customers coming back. If you're selling globally, Shopify can help you do that too in over 150 countries. If you're selling in person, their award-winning point of sale brings your online and retail worlds together. And with 99.9% uptime and the best converting checkout on the planet, you'll never miss a sale. Get all the big stuff for your small business right with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 a month trial and start selling at shopify.com/negotiate. That's shopify.com/negotiate. So the next video that I want you to watch is why narcissists push you to react, especially in the discard phase. So I want you to watch that video next. Just remember that you can be that steady presence in that room full of drama, trauma, and chaos. And that's how you build a life of freedom, possibility, and purpose. So if you like this video, make sure you like it and you share it. Just hit that like and hit that share button. And also make sure you have subscribed and you've hit that bell. You are strong. You are powerful. You've got this. And I will see you in that next video.